Hey everybody, and welcome to Killing Time. This is the show that searches for entertainment that does not suck. And you know what? We've been pretty lucky these days because there's all kinds of awesome stuff. I am Ayaz Akhtar, otherwise known as IA, back in the day when we didn't want people to know who we were. And with me, as always, is JB, which at the time stood for Just Bob, but he's since changed his name to Jehosephine Bumbleblatt. So he's JB now.
Yeah, let's go with JB. Yeah, let's not tell him the full name. You know, keep it on the down low.
Yeah, the Bumbleblatt name is well regarded.
Took a long time to come up with that. You know.
Yeah, and it doesn't fit very easily on the back of baseball jerseys, or many other things.
Correct.
Yeah. There we go. So, if you guys have been watching the show in the past couple of weeks, you might notice that things look a little different. We got curtains around now. They're nice. They're virtual, right? We've got the ability to switch things. So I got there's a two-shot, there's the Rob shot, there's the me shot, there's more things as well. So if it seems a little stilted, it's because it's stilted. So magnificent. Shall we talk about a movie that I rewatched on Sunday? They call it It. Have you seen It?
It. Mm-hmm. Such a simple name for such a wonderful movie and amazing book.
Now, you've actually read the entire book, which is, I think, at around 1,400 pages. Is that right?
Yes. Yes. It was one of the first crazy long books I read as a teenager, because I started reading Stephen King short stories, and then that grew into the longer stories, and then the really long epic stories it became. So, yeah.
Now, I tried to listen to the audiobook version of It. It's narrated by Steven Weber.
That must be like a year long.
I think something like 44 hours. So it's like a job. So
wow.
And the thing is, not only is Steven Weber an excellent narrator, he's doing voices. So when it comes to Bill, he's got a stutter. You sure as hell have it in the book. Now, when you're reading it, I'd assume you kind of skip over some of that and you don't fully enunciate it out in your head. So maybe it's a little faster to read if you were doing it in your head.
But it's definitely a faster read. I mean, but audiobooks always take a little bit longer than it would take you to read, because you actually read faster than most people speak.
That's true. Also, I can listen to things quickly at 1.5 speed, because there's so many different characters trying to keep track of everything. I did have to slow it down to 1.25 to really get a grasp on it. But I will say this, and we will be spoiling It, because the book has been out for years. The miniseries has been out for years for the television version. And the movie's been out for a long time. So if you haven't seen It, I guess spoiler-free right now, JB, what should people know?
People should know that it is freaking awesome. People, people who haven't read the book, who've only seen the original miniseries, might think the original miniseries is a little cheesy. There are some scary parts, but might not really be on board with this whole idea of, the kids and the clown and everything. This is a creepy movie. This is great characters. The child actors are amazing. I mean, very impressed there. The guy who plays Pennywise is excellent. It's just a tight movie, well put together. Didn't feel super, super long, and I like that they split the story into two movies.
Yeah, you guys might have seen a flash of our thanking our patrons for supporting our show. I was trying to show the trailer while Rob was talking. And, yeah, you see Pennywise in the trailers. And that's usually something that you go, all right, they're showing the villain really early. That can't be a good sign. But in this case, it really works. It's a crazy performance. It's intense. It's just really good. And from, the first scene of the film, you know that all bets are off. They are going to go into this horrifying world, and they're not going to pull any punches.
Nope.
Although from what I've heard between the book and this, it does pull some punches, which is saying something.
Yes, the book actually, I mean, believe it or not, people who've seen this movie would be amazed that the book actually is a little bit creepier and more disturbed than the movie is. Believe it or not. So, and also, anybody who saw the movie that really liked it, take the time. Go read the book. You'll really like it.
So I'm going to try to read the book. I guess that's our spoiler-free review. It's great. Watch it. It's horrifying. Don't expect it to be kiddie fair just because it's for kids, or actually a whole bunch of kids. going ahead and taking on
do not take your kids to this movie.
Yeah, think Stand By Me, but the horror version of it. And I mean the horror version of it, not a thriller or psychological drama. I mean a horror movie, and it's very, very effective. So let's get into the actual movie of it, which again was ridiculously good. That I wanted to watch it again in the theater because the performance is so great and the effects are excellent. Seeing it on a really big screen, I thought was worth it. What did you think?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I definitely agree. I mean, the visual aspect of it and Pennywise and it just pulled you in. I mean, the way it was shot, it was so well done that it you always love when the directing and the cinematography bring more to a movie. It definitely did in this case. You know, it was almost like someone read the book and this was what their mind was seeing, and they completely, perfectly translated to the screen.
And in the opening scene, you have the touching Georgie and Bill brotherhood, and the great acting between all the kids.
Yeah.
Eventually, as you've seen in the trailers, you see that he's lured to Georgie is lured to the storm drain, I guess it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because a clown has his boat. And in the miniseries, they don't show you exactly what happens. In the book, at least if the audio book is I think it's unabridged, they tell you what happens. He loses an arm. There's blood everywhere. It's a rainstorm, so the blood gets washed away. And this movie, this 2017 version, shows you this. And it's not over-the-top gory, but it's somewhat realistic.
Yeah.
And it's also horrifying because a lot of movies don't have the guts to hurt a child character. They don't have the guts to hurt an animal on this kind of stuff. But when it comes to Stephen King stuff, he does that a lot in his books, as far as I know.
Yes.
There's a lot of violence towards children. There's a lot of the bullying stuff is crazy. Just from that just hooked me in from there. And this movie's, I think, somewhere over 2 hours. It's a long movie. And for me to be able to sit there and watch this twice in the theater, when I have no attention span, I will say they did a great job because it doesn't feel like it drags either. It's a really it's a fun, horrifying film, which is a rarity. You don't get a lot of rated R movies that aren't just like, okay, it's a slasher. This is not a slasher.
No. I mean, the source material is excellent, and I got to say, the TV version is what made me afraid of clowns, and this just solidified that whole fear of clowns thing for the rest of my life, pretty much.
Wait, you were scared of clowns?
I'm a little freaked out by clowns. They bother me. Can't explain why.
I mean,
probably because I was a kid who was 8 years old or 9 years old watching it, and then 11 years old and 12 years old reading it.
Yeah,
it couldn't have helped.
That's a mistake right there. I saw Nightmare on Elm Street when I was 7 or 8. Couldn't sleep for 2 weeks because. In all fairness, though, clowns just don't show up, but nightmare men show up because you sleep.
That is true.
I'm glad. That is true. If it was a nightmare clown, I would be screwed. Is what I'm saying. But normally, I'm not that afraid of clowns. I mean, if I saw this actor, apparently he scared the hell out of the kids regularly by accident. Yeah. And I found out in the trivia this weird thing that Pennywise does with his eyes, where he kind of like moves them left and right or up and down. It's not a CG effect. It's the actor
can do that?
Yeah. They were like, hey, we're going to do this in post. He goes, can I try it? And then he moves his eyes. And it gives you this slightly off look. And you're like, what is wrong with this picture? Because it's a clown. Big, happy smile. And it's got a balloon. And it's got the frills. And it shouldn't be threatening. But the way he delivers the lines.
Yeah.
And the eyes being slightly offset. It's just mesmerizing, honestly, and it's also terrifying because if I think you take the music out, I really wonder how scary some of these scenes would be if it was just clown music.
Yeah.
But the music's super intense because some shit's gonna happen with this movie.
Oh yeah, yeah. Music is so important in horror movies, and I don't know who the composer was or who did this, but they did a really good job.
I'm trying to look it up right now.
Yeah.
Let's see. We've got trivia here. I'm gonna keep looking up stuff on it. This movie was 2 hours and 15 minutes long.
Yep.
And it's Bill Skarsgård is the clown whose name always escapes me for some reason.
Yep.
And I don't have the composer yet.
It's a very big acting family he comes from.
Yeah.
Father's an actor, brother's an actor, yeah.
Isn't his father the guy in Thor?
The guy in Thor, and his brother was the guy in True Blood and a couple other movies.
Yes. They're the
Yeah.
Skarsgårds, Hemsworths. That's them.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Same family. Exact
Yeah.
same.
Yeah, exact same thing.
Same lineage. Whole thing.
Yeah.
Except creepy clowns versus Norse gods. Whatever.
It's all good.
What else is happening? Okay, so we have the way the kids take down the clown. Now, I have not read that part of the book yet. And from what I know, I was watching this video, I think it was off of Screen Junkies, and they had, what's the difference between the book and the movie? And I'm just playing in the background. I think I'm cleaning the kitchen. And then I hear how the kids manage to show a bond of some kind. Now, Liz is in the apartment. She has not gotten to that part yet, so I can't say it out loud, but she can't hear you. So can you tell the audience how they managed to do this?
To put it gently and lightly, in most versions, people always think that you have the female character kissing all the boys' characters. In the book, it was actually, she pretty much was like a doorknob, everybody got a turn kind of thing.
What was the character logic behind this? Because
I have no idea.
No, it's definitely hinted in the parts of the book I've seen, I've listened
Yeah.
to. That is, and it's definitely hinted at in the movies. In
The
both
logic
versions.
is some kind of bond beyond just normal friendship bond. I guess to add more physical and more. I don't know. I don't really know.
I thought that this was kind of a reflection based on how this character grew up, and there's this implied relationship that's very. What's the word? It's inappropriate. It's very inappropriate. So
Yes.
So there's a chance that in my head, because I haven't gotten to this part, I'm assuming the character only knows how to express based on that.
Yes, the physical aspect of love, so to speak.
Yes, that's a very
Yeah.
artful way of putting it.
Yeah.
Because I had to go back to the video because I'm like, wait, what did I just hear? That can't be right. And
Yeah.
then I looked it up in an incognito window because I don't want this in a search.
Yeah.
I don't want my history. I don't want a Google card showing up going, hey, do you want to know more about this? It's like, no. Not something I was going for there. I just was curious about the book. And
Yeah.
I'm going to get to this part of the book at some point. But one of the
Yes.
reasons why I stopped listening to it, the audiobook, apart from the length of it, was every character grows up to be so successful that I got so sick of. I'm like, well, Benny, well, he's an awesome architect, and Richie, he's a famous radio DJ, and Bill, he's Stephen King, and then, like, I guess Mike is the biggest loser because he's still at the library, and Bev is dating an asshole, which I guess, but she seems somewhat successful. She looks, at least in the '80s movie, looks like she's living it up. It was just so over the top. I'm just like, okay, please somebody tell me that, like, Stanley, which eventually Stanley kind of gives in to that one. He seemed relatively lame or tame. Eddie, I guess he's the biggest one.
Yes.
Which, did you watch the It miniseries? Have you watched it recently?
I haven't watched it recently. It's been a year or two.
They compress the hell out of Eddie's story. They take away his wife.
Yeah.
His fat mother is like 80s fat, which is like plus like 12 pounds on a normal person, versus the character that we see, or at least the actress, because the descriptions make this person sound very large, like a large,
Yes.
think of like an armchair, and think a person is the size of an armchair. That's Stephen King writes better than I. Okay, I don't write these things.
Good job.
That'll be my next thing. It'll just be interpretations of the books.
Yes.
So Eddie's mom is about the size of an armchair. Not a quarterback, but the size of an armchair. Just think round and like kind of trash can shaped. Okay? Good. Next,
Right.
Eddie.
If she keeps eating, she's going to be the size of a love seat, and we can't have that.
Eddie has mommy issues, so Eddie hooks up with his mommy, sort of.
Yes.
He has the same kind of deal. Anyway, a lot of kids, a lot of weird stuff. And the difference between the It miniseries and the It movies, we haven't seen the adult versions of these characters yet. We've only seen this.
Right. They really split it into two separate things with these movies, where the miniseries obviously didn't.
And the book does not do that. It goes back and forth and back and forth.
Oh, yeah, the book's all over the place. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
with all of these names, Benny and Eddie and Beverly and Billy.
It's
not
tough
Billy,
to follow.
What's his?
It's tough to follow.
Bill Dunn. Yeah, like these names might be easy to see, but to hear them, you're just like, wait, who is Bill? Bill's an architect. Bill's
Which
not.
guy? Who's what? Yeah.
Yeah, you can't just like pause it and look. Maybe if they had the waveforms, I'd be cool with it.
Yeah.
In other words, I'm saying I'm a really bad audio reader. Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
And I'm a great describer of things. Speaking of that, I am a wordsmith. Can you believe we don't script this at all?
I mean, really, this is really off the cuff, people. We don't actually script this. I know you're amazed by this.
And I'm trying to do switching here. I'm going to say thanks to our patrons, who I think are on the button 5. I'm going to hit this button 5, and I'm going to see what happens. There they are, yes. Thank you to our awesome patrons who support the show, even though we've been a little spotty when it comes to sending out these episodes. But I'm working on that. I have a lot more time to do this now, so I'm very happy with you guys supporting us this whole time. You guys have been there since the beginning, it seems like. So thank you very much for being a part of our show and helping us. And if you, for some reason, are like, hey, I really want to give back to Killing Time for some reason, feel free to share the link, patreon.com/IAZ, and see if we can get more people on board, because, there was this other show I used to do that when we had a certain goal, it was a dinosaur show, but we fell off that goal. I'm going to try to figure out some stuff anyway. But just, if you can help out, anything helps. If not, don't worry about it. We're fine with that. We like you just the way you are. Thanks for getting this far in the video, because if you got this far in the video, you heard everything we said, despite everything we said.
Exactly.
So you guys are phenomenal. I think we're going to get out of here. Is there anything we need to say?
It was awesome. If you like it, watch Stranger Things. Which we'll be talking about in the future.
In the comments below, if there's a movie that you think, hey, look, you think it was good, you think that was good, not that, but it, you thought it was good, what other movies are like it? Because I want to see more just what's the word? It's just really gutsy filmmaking when it comes to this kind of genre. Because sometimes you get into the slasher stuff, you get to this dumb stuff, you get into comedy, but this is straight. You have your bits of levity at times, but this is it's a good drama, and it's meant for an adult audience, and I was very, very impressed by it. So if you got any ideas, let us know in the comments. You can hit us on Twitter. I'm at Ayaz. Rob, I think you haven't tweeted since 2007. I think
probably something like that. I didn't even know I still had an account.
It's still there if you find him.
Oh.
I think it's at R. Borghese. So good luck finding him.
All right.
Maybe you'll bring him back and you'll make him comment. I'm going to get us out of here. I'm going to hit the intro and see what happens if that actually works. So the intro is going to be the outro. So long, everybody. They can still hear us because I haven't stopped recording.
Oh.
It
really?
Or that. This, you can go with this.
This or that.
Or you can go with that.
Then? Or here?
You can go
or
with this.
Here.
You can go with
Better
that.
now or it?
Better. A or B? A? As people with glasses. This is still recording, by the way.
Yes. Better here, now, or now?
Yeah, that really helps, by the way. Yeah. So, optometrists everywhere? Can't say the word I want to say.